Our channel. This is actually your reading for the month of June, the entire month. And so I already pulled the cards for you guys because I haven't did a reading in like 2 weeks because I've been sick with a cold. And so I went 2 weeks before because I was sick again with a cold about a month ago. So yes, so now I'm getting over my cold. So I'm back to doing doing readings for the channel. So this is your monthly reading for the month of June, and then I'm also going to do the reading for the week and another video after this one. Okay, so I pulled the cards so I can get a feel of what's going on and to give you some insight. I have a new deck, so I'm working with a new deck as well with the old deck as well. The new deck is the True Love Reading Cards deck by Lori Banks. And so that's the second one. The other one is the Spirit Message deck by John Holland, the one I started using at the beginning. So let's get started into this reading. The first card that came up was Seek, and that was from the Spirit Messages deck. And so I'm going to go back and forth with you guys on this because these cards are kind of lined up with one another. And so from this deck, this is Seek. If you can see it, now I'm going to read it to you. It says, the power of spirit exists in all things. Let me make sure you can see me. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. So I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on this card once I tell you the other card so I can put them together on what, this reading is about for this month. And so the next card is the Distorted Feminine card from the other deck. As you can see. And I'm going to read you guys what that card actually means. Let me get to that page. Okay, Distorted Feminine is 30. Okie dokie. It says, it is time to recognize, it's time to recognize the distorted feminine in your life. Release the negative patterns and live fully and happily in the present. The distorted feminine may not appear to run the world in the same way as distorted masculine does. Yet it is just as commonplace and equally destructive. The distorted feminine is characterized by negative emotions, depression, neediness, a sense of going around in circles, or a need for pointless drama, feeling unattractive, or being trapped and powerless. Does this sound familiar to you? In this mode, the feminine can even be dishonest by means of manipulation, not saying what she really means, or by being unclear about what she needs. This gives rise to unspoken or even unfair expectation. The distorted feminine may seek to catch out or trip up another in order to have something to be angry or upset about. This need for attention, whatever the cost, an expression of insecurity, can damage her health, her relationships, and even her career prospects. After centuries in the shadows, receiving little credit for her effort, and shouldering guilt and blame at the hands of global institutions, the feminine is tired. Maybe she feels unloved and supported by the masculine in her world. Maybe life seems like a struggle. This might be some relationship issues for you. I'm going to put everything together once I get this, but I'm just giving you a little talking to you while I'm reading this as well, so you can have insight on, what's going on for this month. Let me see. While some of these things may be true, remaining in the distorted feminine is not the way to resolve them. You have drawn this card today because the distorted feminine is lurking somewhere in your life and is asking to be acknowledged and healed. Being honest with yourself about this is really happening is the first huge step towards empowerment. Are you constantly becoming involved with the wrong kind of partner? Do you blame your mate for the things that aren't working in your life? Do you second guess yourself or imagine that other people think ill of you? Are you afraid to ask for what you really need and want? Or are you waiting until someone else figures it out and gives it to you? This is so true. Are you dwelling on old feelings or hurt or disappointment? Your angels and spirit guides want you to know that now is the time to bring this energy to the surface. Bless it for what it is, what it has taught you, and let go. Hold on, Trey, I'm doing a reading. I need to go up in there. I'm reading for my channel. I'm sorry I got messed up. Your angels and spirit guides want you to know that now is the time to bring this energy to the surface. Bless it for what it has taught you, then let it go. It is time to live and for the present. Live in and for the present. I'm sorry, I just got completely thrown off by all the commotion in the background. Okay, now, let me get back to what these cards are saying. So, the first card we pulled was a Seek card. Second card we pulled from Mother Deck was a Distorted Feminine card. And so, this is from Spirit. Spirit is telling you you need to seek and you need to resolve these issues that are inside of you. You need to internally, seek the spirit world, because we're always aligned with the spirit world. We're always attached to the spirit world because we're spirit first. And so our higher self is always up there in the spirit realms. So therefore, we always have this connection. So to be able to restore ourselves and balance ourselves out and get all these negative emotions and energies and depression and, these old patterns out of our lives, we need to connect back to our higher self. And so, the Distorted Feminine is just that part of you that it says what it says, distorted. I know I go through these times where I go back and forth and I deal with depression and I overeat, like today or whatever. I was overeating today for some reason, looking like, why am I doing this? And so I'm studying, going back, reliving and revisiting old patterns, and they're coming up, and I'm like, I thought I got over these patterns, and then these patterns, not even that, will just come up in my life, different patterns. And so even like some patterns with envy and stuff like that, and I thought I got rid of all of that or whatever, and of course you always have that ego in you, so you always have that part of you that's trying to just, talk in your ear, that negative part of you. But yeah, so the Distorted Feminine, we need to take our power back, and like the card said in the book, that you might feel, not loved by your partner. If you're in a relationship with your twin flame or soulmate or your significant other, you might not be feeling loved. But don't let, you not feeling loved by that person really distort your being. And so, Spirit is just telling you to, align back with your true self, your higher self, align back with Source, align back so you can become balanced in you and take your power back. And don't give someone else your power. If someone's not treating you right, speak up, say what you need to say. Because I know I have an issue or whatever with not speaking what's on my mind. I let stuff start to get to me. I let people get to me. And because I won't say how I feel, and I try to, give people benefit of the doubt and stuff like that. And it suddenly eats at me, and I'm suddenly putting all that negative energy and emotion into me because I'm letting other people control me. And it's not saying that they are, but my own emotions are doing that. So yeah, but we just need to become back aligned with our true essence. And I have been feeling kind of like a little lost lately. Well, not really lost, just a little off. And, it's so much stuff I know that's supposed to be coming in my life and coming into, fruition this year for me. And some things that I feel like should have been already happened, but it's timing too. So, yeah, but anyway, we need to line back with our higher self, with our true self. And this right here, this card isn't just for women. If a man sees this video too, this card is also for you as well. You might have a female in your life. You need to think about how she's acting. Is there anything that you can do to help? You need to open up the communication, the line of communication, and talking to her. And this might just be the feminine part of yourself. We have masculine and feminine energy flowing through us. And one thing, excuse me, as twins, if your twin is passed over to the afterlife, you are pretty much embodied of really two energies. So for me, my twin is an afterlife or whatever, but I kind of look at it as like we're two souls in one body. And so I have this masculine aspect of me, which I already had. We already have that, but is more so predominant now because he's in the afterlife and he's helping me. And so we work as a team, as one. And so for males or whatever, you have this feminine aspect to you. You need to, if you have this little thing about pettiness and stuff like that, you just need to clear out all these energies and align back with your higher self, with your true self. That's pretty much what Spirit is telling you. Align back with your true self and your higher self. We're always connected. The answers are there. They're here to help us. And this is what these two cards are really meaning, are really saying. And so those are those two cards. The next set of cards I pulled was the support card. Support. As you can see. And let me read this. It says, people come into our life for many different reasons. Some you learn from, and then they move on, while others return often because you need to learn more from those individuals. Others remain beside you throughout your entire life. So, you get that. So, I'm going to tell you what the next card is. Serendipity. Serendipity is the next card that came up with the support card. And so let's see what serendipity says in the book. Serendipity is page 74, I believe. Yep. Okie dokie. Serendipity. Trust that your journey is unfolding naturally and gracefully. How often have you wondered when I had to actually delete some things and start back recording. So let's get back into it. How often have you wondered when? Uncertainty and waiting for your dreams to come true can be very frustrating. Most of the time we want what we want and we want it now. Yet we often look back on our lives and are able to appreciate the divine timing and serendipity that took place. Timing is a key element of life, whether you are longing to meet your beloved or craving a renewal of your current connection. It's often difficult or impossible to understand why your needs remain unfulfilled in a certain time. You might even doubt yourself or become disappointed with the universe. Developing your ability to trust in the greater forces that nurture and guide you is an empowering skill to have. Make sure that you are genuinely committed to having, doing, or being whatever you have asked for. Sometimes the universe will protect you from your own naivety so you can have more time to think things through. Next, make sure that you have done all you can from an earthly human perspective to help make your dreams a reality. If you are procrastinating, how can you expect the universe to deliver? That's true. I'm so tired of these excuses and noise. Once all of that is taken care of, it's time to trust the divine timing and serendipity have taken over. Be prepared to listen to and act upon your intuition. When you feel the urge to follow something up or have a sense of knowing, go with it to discover where it leads. There are many steps on the path of your highest good, so be prepared for small miracles along the way, rather than a big puff of smoke and total change. Divine timing and serendipity give you time to reconsider, refine, and adjust. Then they add a dash of magic, so there's an element of unexpected too. Life wasn't meant to be predictable, and your future is not set in stone. So learn to go with the flow and allow your fascinating journey to unfold gracefully. And that is so true. And I just got finished talking about, my journey and about things that I thought was supposed to have been happening by now that hadn't happened yet. And so, but everything is about divine timing. And also, too, like the card says, it says, if you've been procrastinating, I know I have been procrastinating on some things or whatever. So how do you expect the universe to, give you these things if you're not, reacting to when the universe is telling you it's time to react, it's time to do this, or you need to stay focused and stuff like that. So you can't expect that. So the support and the serendipity card came up. And so these two cards go hand in hand because it's telling you that you have support around you everywhere. You have spiritual support. You have support from your, ask your loved ones to help you or whatever. Ask your loved ones for, a shoulder to cry on if you need a shoulder to cry on. But you have the support you need. And most importantly, you have that spiritual support. We're always connected to spirit. We're always connected to source. We just tend to forget that ourselves. And so source is always giving us these, we ask for something and we have to make sure we're aligned and we're in the vortex of what we want. Because if we're not, if this is our vortex, and so we want a new car, a new house, we want the money, we want the love relationship or whatever. And this is our vortex and this is where we need to be and this is what we want and what we ask for. But we're over here and not aligned with that vortex or not doing the things we need to do to get aligned with that vortex, and therefore we're going to miss out on everything that's in this vortex. This vortex is just going around and it has everything that you need and want in it. But if you're not, taking the heeds, if you're not picking up on the signals and the things that you need to do, trusting your intuition, then you're not going to fall in line with what's inside your vortex, and it's going to be delayed even more. And so we also too have to stop looking at stuff as as it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Look at it as it's happening. It's already happened. Live in the present tense. Even though you might not have the money right now, think that you already have the money. Envision that you already have the money. You might not have the relationship right now. Envision that you have that male or that female, that other companion in your life. And so you will bring those things to you because we always tend to let these negative energies around us, and we always tend to bring negative things, into existence when we don't want to, because we're telling the universe also too, the universe doesn't really, our language with the universe has to be aligned with the universe as well. Because if we're always saying or whatever, that we are always attracting the wrong guy or we're always broke, then the universe is going to say, well, you're always broke. You're always going to get the wrong guy. That's what you're asking for. You don't realize you're asking for that. But if you're telling the universe, I'm not always broke. I have money. I can do the things I want to do. I can travel the world, do the things I want to do. Or, I have the man that I want. I have the female that I want. Then the universe is going to say, okay, well, I'm aligning you with that. So therefore, here is the female or the male. Here is the job opportunity. Here's the money or whatever. But you have to be able to realize and pick up on those things. So spirit is always helping us. We just have to acknowledge it and pick up on the little bitty signs and clues that are around us. And for the people that have already lost their twins in afterlife, and the group, and she just recently lost her twin to the afterlife, and I'm going to say this to you, that this is going to be a journey, a long journey, and you're going to go through so many ups and downs, and your twin is there for you. Right now your twin just crossed over, so therefore he's still a new spirit, and that's for anyone. The loved ones just crossed over, they're still a new spirit, so they're still learning. It's like, you have to relearn, you have to shed off all these old things that you had, and you have to view your life and all the kind of stuff or whatever. So they're relearning how to do things, and so you need to heal on this end and relearn how to do things too, and learn how to do things. And so but our twins are in the afterlife. They're always helping guide us. They're one of our main spirit guides. They're aligned, they're with us, they're energetically embodied into the same body that we're in. And even though that they're always with us or whatever, that doesn't mean that they can't visit their other loved ones, because spirit is omnipresent. That means that spirit can be in more than one place at a time. We're only bound by these physical bodies. Spirit isn't, and so yes, so therefore, this reading is just telling you that you have the support you need. Pick up on the signs, and serendipity is everywhere, and just know that if you do what you need to do to align with what you asked for, it's there. It's already there. You just have to do what you need to do. And so those were those two cards. And so the last two cards, let me show you this. The Animal Kingdom card. And so, at first, when I pulled this card, I really didn't understand what it meant to go along with this. But it's really not saying exactly what the card is meaning, but I will tell you what it means when I put everything together. So let me just read to you what the card says. The Animal Kingdom. It said, animals of all types are extraordinary creatures and miraculous gifts to us. They've been our spiritual companions since the dawn of time. At this moment, they have lessons to share with you that will open your heart and soul. And I mean, that's true too, just in that aspect, because I have a dog, and I told you guys about my dog, because I'm not going to say anything about her health issues, because I'm not claiming them. But yeah, I just recently found out that why she was so drawn to my twin flame when he was here, when she first met him. She never liked guys, never liked men, and unless she was used to him, raised around him. And so when she first met him, she never barked at this guy. I'm looking like, are you crazy? So when we did break up, I was like, my dog is crazy. She lost it. This is the only guy she ever met and didn't try to attack. And he pet her and everything, and she was inside of her cage. So usually when she was in her cage, she was more aggressive. And so anyway, I found out that she's one of my twin souls. Twin flame. We only have one twin flame, and I've said in a video before that we have twin souls, soulmates, and karmic mates. And so twin souls are kind of on that alignment of a soulmate energy plus like a twin flame energy, but it's not. So a twin soul, you can have. Every twin flame has 12 twin souls. Those twin souls can be romantic in nature and not romantic in nature, just like your soulmates. Your soulmates can be romantic or not romantic. They can be pets, loved ones, friends, and stuff like that. And even your twin souls can too. And so I recently found out that she was one of my twin souls. My cat that passed away was one of my soulmates. So we have numerous of soulmates. And so that's why, because she's so closely combined to my soul that she recognized the frequency of my twin flame when he was here, when my ego, I didn't even know anything about this whole spiritual stuff or whatever. She recognized it, because animals are always in tune. They're in tune with the spiritual realm. So that part of that card is saying, but that's not the whole thing of it. So let me give you the second card, the Divine Masculine. This is Divine Masculine. And I want you to notice in this card, though, you see a lion and you see the Divine Masculine holding a eagle as well. And so let's see, what page is this? Divine Masculine. It's 32. No, that's distorted masculine. So Divine Masculine is 38. Okay. The Divine Masculine. When harnessed in a healthy way, the Divine Masculine creates structure for the benefit of all he touches. Divine masculine emerges in direct response to the presence of the really hard time with this video today. My lights went out, my internet crashed on me, and so I had to do this video back over. So this is the other part of me finishing the Divine Masculine card. God, I gotta get this video edited and edited. Okay, let me start back. It says the Divine Masculine emerges in a direct response to the presence of the Divine Feminine. He is always present but needs the positive space created and held by the Feminine in order to grow and develop. This masculine energy is characterized by protecting what is truly valuable, being attentive, helpful, and able to make decisions. It displays leadership qualities and a sense of accomplishment and set goals, building and creating for the good of all rather than individual gain, while facing and overcoming challenges in a more linear and direct approach to getting things done. The masculine is sensitive, spiritual, and intuitive. But he approaches and expresses these qualities in a way that are different from the feminine. And I was going to say something about that. When my twin was here, he was sensitive and very intuitive. He would always pick up on things about me, and like the whole calling thing, we would telepathically do things and didn't even realize that I didn't even realize what was happening then. And but spiritual, he really wasn't spiritual because he wasn't aligned with that path at the time. But it is what it is. Yeah. Isaiah, go in there, please. I'm not gonna tell you again. Let me see, where did I end off at? Okay. The masculine enjoys getting results and experiencing a physical outcome from his effort, often utilizing art or music as a rich embellishment to honor the feminine energy that also flows through his creation. So, of course, the feminine energy flows through the male creation because, of course, Mother Nature, women give birth to men, of course. The divine masculine can move mountains, yet be incredibly subtle at the same time. He needs to return to the feminine forces regularly to replenish himself, which in the past was regarded as weakness, leading to the distorted approach of attempting to dominate or control the feminine. And let me stop there for a minute, because this is what's wrong with our world. Men tend to forget that part of them, and they want to try to dominate. And this has been through centuries. This has been like in history as we can remember. They have put us, and it's not saying all men, it's just saying as a whole, they have put us under the bus and don't realize that, they need this nurturing energy for themselves. And once a man is fully nurtured with that feminine energy, then, they don't feel like they're at war with us. They don't feel like that they have to dominate us or whatever. And so we see that in this world now, and it always has been, throughout centuries, even in the Bible and stuff like that, where they discredited women, look at women as being not equal, as below. And nowhere in God's earth that God said that one was greater than the other. We are two different complete energies, and we have, we're yin and yang, and we pull strengths from each other, and whatever our weaknesses is, the other energy will help us with that. And so the men in this generation need to know that. Not all men. They just need to know they need to align themselves up with their feminine energy, and they need to, it's abundance. I mean, it's energy everywhere around, the feminine energy. And once they do that, they will see that there's no use to be in competition with us. We're not in competition with you guys. We just want to be heard, we want our voice to be heard. And so yes, that was for that little part. I had to say something about that because there's a lot going on in the world. But trying to think about the negative things, think more on the positive things, keep that aligned, and then you will be okay. It says, divine masculine can move mountains. I think I read that part. Okay, I'm just going to reread it anyway. The divine masculine move mountains, yet be incredibly subtle at the same time. He needs to return to the feminine forces regularly to replenish himself, which in the past was regarded as weakness, leading to the distorted approach of attempting to dominate or control the feminine. Yet when he looks around him, he sees the feminine is available to him in a limited abundance, and he is free. He is free once he realizes that. You have drawn this card today because your masculine energy needs to create or achieve something, to bring a project through to its fulfilling conclusion for the good of all, and to let go of the idea that you are weak because you need the nurturing support of the feminine. So this is for you, males. But this card isn't just for males. I'm just saying that little part. Look to the things that need to be done in your life. Look to where you are too hard on yourself or excessively independent, and give your divine masculine permission to work his magic in his own way. And so what that card is saying, for women, I'm going to say this for women right now, that we are male and females, we both have these two parts energies in us. We both have feminine and masculine and feminine. And so it's telling you, this card is telling you need to be aligned with your divine masculine. And you're probably saying, what does this have to do with the animal kingdom card, which I pulled? Now, if you know anything about the male energy, it's more animalistic than the female energy is. We're more spiritual, kind of like, whatever. But males are more animalistic. So it's telling you that card really didn't have a lot to do per se directly with the animal kingdom, but as you can see in this card, you see the lion, which is strength, and you see the eagle, which is sight. And so you need to embrace that strength, call on that inner lion, the inner male energy of yours, and you will be focused. That sight, the eagle in this card, and you see the eye back here as well. You will be focused and aligned and be able to see. And you see this spiral right here, the vortex, align with what you want in life. And so we need to, and like, if your twin is passed over to the other side, if you're the female stuff behind the male, we are embodied of both energies really now. And so in my body is me and my twin, both energy flowing through here. And even though, he's always with me or whatever, doesn't mean, like I said before, that spirits cannot be with other loved ones or whatever, because they're omnipresent. They can be everywhere at once. We're just bound by these physical bodies. And so yeah, but the divine masculine is saying that he needs his space to be able to bring the things that you want into, creation. And so that's really just a lot of clarification for me, because I felt like I've been kind of off lately and kind of, like off my path or whatever, and not really aligned to where I need to be inside of my vortex to get the things that I need done and get the things I need to be doing. And so yeah, so it's telling me that I need to give my twin space to bring the magic in, bring his magic in, work his magic in my life. And so it can be for the greater good. And so that's for you. If your twin has passed away, if not, you still have that male component energy inside of you. You need to let that masculine have space in your life. And for the males, this card is telling you, don't be afraid that you need the nurturing support of the feminine energy. Call on that. And this right here with this card, the story that feminine goes with the males. Call upon that feminine energy that you need so you can be aligned with your divine masculine self. So this reading is everything just combines with each other. And I love doing tarot because how you just see how everything just combines. These are two different decks, and Spirit just puts everything in order. Serendipity puts everything in order so the message can be put there for you to see. And it just amazes me. I really fallen in love with tarot. But anyway. But yeah, this was your reading for the month of June. And since this video, I hope it didn't cut off on me. So I'm gonna say a little something about my ring in this video. You probably see it. I didn't say anything. I don't think I said anything to you guys, but if I have, this is just me repeating this or whatever, but I don't think I have, because I was sick for 2 weeks and hadn't did a video. But anyway, my boyfriend, the 31st, Larry, was his actual 2-year anniversary of his death, of his homegoing. And so also the 31st was actually 2-year anniversary of us getting back together, because we got back together a few hours before the accident happened. So we got back together like the 30th that night. The accident happened around 1 or 2 or whatever. And then he died later on that day, on the 31st. And so, so it's a 2-year anniversary as well. And so, this right here ring, is like an engagement ring.